It's day 4 of reindeer games.
Already, wow.
Woohoo! Already, exactly. Yes, so day 4. And today is all about being precise, or trying to be precise most of the time, anyway.
Yes.
So Marilyn, I actually said to Marilyn, so what do you think about when you think about being precise? And she gave me some great ideas, and now we've got a number of items to share with you.
And to help you in the process.
That's right. So when it comes to being precise, you need to measure.
A good ruler
Yeah.
is key.
Measure first, measure twice, but measure first. So we have here the 6 inch by 24 inch Quilter Select ruler. 6 by 24 inch is really a standard go-to that everybody needs to have, certainly in their home toolkit. The Quilter Select rulers, as you may know, we love because they have the non-slip coating on the back that just grabs the fabric enough that when you hold the ruler down, it allows you to cut.
Yeah, it's not wobbling all over and you end up with part of your strip wider than the other part. Yeah, very helpful in being precise.
For sure, yeah. And you realize how much you rely on that when you go to a ruler that doesn't have.
And you forget to, do the walking thing up the ruler.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other great thing about the Quilter Select rulers is the lines are quite fine. So you're not giving yourself a lot of wiggle room in terms of whether you're on the edge of your fabric or cutting on the line, that type of thing. It's much easier to be precise. And they also have the angled lines and the notches for the 1/4 and 1/2 and the 1/8 and the 3/8 as well. So there we go, 6 by 24 inch ruler. So in terms of cutting,
Then you need a good cutter.
We all have our favorite cutters, and mine happens to be the Quilter Select rotary cutter. 45 millimeter is my preference, and you will see me using this in the shop at the tables. And if it's not at the table I happen to be at, then you'll see me looking for it. I really like the weight of it, and actually studies have shown that people with difficulty with their wrist actually find the heavier weight works well for them because they don't have to press as hard. It doesn't take as much effort when you're actually pressing for the cutting. But everybody has their favorite. Anyway, that is something to consider. So the use of this, you push the button, slide it along, and then you just tap it and it's closed. So that's a really nice feature of it. Need to put a fresh blade in this one.
It looks like it's been well used.
It is, yes. So you just close it there. Changing the blade is really easy. You just pull the little slider down. It releases the blade. So there's nothing to fiddle with in terms of multiple parts of getting them in the right order. You just pop the new blade on top and tighten the little gadget on top there. It takes regular 45 millimeter blades. It uses the Quilter Select blades, Olfa blades. Doesn't have any special blade requirements. So we have the 45 millimeter. We also have the 60 millimeter size if you prefer a larger blade circle. And then they just came out with the 28 millimeter size of the rotary cutter, which the 28 millimeter size is really great for doing smaller curves.
Yes, it does. Anything that's curved, the smaller blade is much easier to use.
Much easier, yeah. So we have the blades, as I mentioned on a previous day, for the 28 millimeter and the 60 millimeter as well. So those are the cutter options for the day. So now, a little bit more measuring you have over there, Marilyn, your favorites.
You want me to talk about these?
Yeah.
These, I'm very excited about these. Anybody who knows me knows I make tons of Christmas stuff, table runners and whatnot. And for years, I have struggled to, oh yeah, I already have, when I'm fussy cutting, to make sure that whatever I'm cutting, the little cardinal or the snowman, is in the center and what size. And using, a 6x12 ruler and finding that center point, always a challenge. These are fantastic. I can't wait to take my set home. These are fussy cutting rulers in 6 different sizes, from 2.5 all the way up to 6.5 inches. They have the center point clearly marked, as well as your 1/4 inch seam allowance, to give you an idea of just exactly where that fussy cut piece is going to be cut.
Free up your hands.
Thank you. So, to center that on a motif on a fabric, easy peasy. And then just cut a little, one of those turntable mats is very helpful for that too. Turn it, cut the other side, you're good to go. But I love the fact that there are different sizes. I mean, I do have a 2.5 inch square ruler, but I don't have all these other sizes. And of course, every quilt's different, every pattern's different, and sometimes you need a 6.5 inch square or a 4.5 inch square.
And they're perfectly clear, other than that X, so you can really see the area that
design.
you're.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of other lines in there that you're not needing when you're fussy cutting. So to obscure what you're looking at.
And these are by Quilt in a Day.
Yes.
She's come out with many great rulers and other tools over the years.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're great, so I can't wait to take those home with me.
All right. Santa was good to you.
Yeah.
Or will be good
Hopefully.
to you.
Put that on my list for sure.
That's right. The InvisiGrip, 4 rulers that don't have a non-slip backing. The InvisiGrip is a great addition to those rulers. It's just an adhesive that you cut to the shape of the ruler and stick it on. It is peelable, so if you want to take it off, you can. It does stay on as long as you want it to. You don't have to replace it. So Leanne is a big fan of the InvisiGrip for her Studio 180 rulers.
Yeah, and any older rulers that you have that don't have the lovely non-slip finish that the Quilter Select rulers have. It really makes life easier. You don't have to press as hard on the ruler. It won't skid around on you. Very good product.
Yes, so that is available. Now, what about that little fancy little...
Our little Nancy Zeman tool. This is called Seams Right, and it's a multi-purpose tool, and it's good for sewing, quilting, knitting, crocheting, embroidery, all kinds of different crafts. And it has all your different measurements easily marked. There's your 1/4, half. Nope, that's 5/8. Half is up here. All marked all the way around. Plus, it will also measure for buttonhole openings. So you can check your measurements, make sure they're right. Check your seam allowances. Check how far you've been knitting. All kinds of great uses.
All about keeping you precise in what
and because it's made of metal, you can actually iron on it. Although it will get warm, you have to be careful about that.
Nice. Okay, so we've measured, we've cut. Now we need to do some stitching, right? So
Couple of things for that.
Yeah. So you want to talk about the
this
stiletto?
is a Hold It Precision Stiletto. You can use it at the ironing board or the sewing machine. It has a great grippy tip for holding the fabric, and it's angled so that you can reach right in and hold your fabric. Can I take this out so they can see?
And when you're doing multiple layers, when you've got more than just your 2 layers of fabric together, when you're joining blocks and with lots of seam allowances, you often need that little additional help in holding that fabric down.
And this end with the silicone tip It's flat there, so if you've got that on your fabric, it's going to move that around. This is great for getting into little crevices, and because it's silicone, you can iron right up next to it and you're not going to melt it.
I know that some of our staff have already started using that, and the new lavender version, even the limited edition.
Is that a limited edition?
It is a limited edition, but they do have lots in stock, so I think we're going to be okay.
Okay.
So,
and then the old reliable sewing edge. This is so great for putting on your sewing machine, helping you line up that 1/4 inch seam allowance. It's easily removable, but it will stay on the bed of your sewing machine. And even if you have a 1/4 inch foot, this will guide you to make sure you are guiding your fabric all the way in under the presser foot straight, not wobbling around, and just again helps with your overall precision.
absolutely. So, and a little bit newer device is the Sew Laser, Sew Q Laser, actually. It is a device that you attach to your sewing machine with double-sided tape. There's a little unit, a holding unit that you attach, and then the laser unit that you actually insert into that. It emits a laser beam wherever you wish to have it directed. And there's a very good video that we'll be including in this today's video, so that you can actually see the details of the installation and how it works. I've been using this unit now for quite a few months, and I absolutely love it. It's powered by the USB, so that makes it very easy to plug into your to your sewing area. But the real purpose of this is to allow you to stitch straight lines when you're stitching in an area that you can't line it up directly to the edge of your fabric. So when you're stitching across squares to make half square triangles, or when you're joining binding pieces, or also if you are stitching in the ditch for your free motion quilting, it guides you right down that seam. It's really, really a fantastic little device, and it prevents you from having to mark on the back of all of your squares. So that makes it very handy.
It's worth its weight in gold just for that. That's to avoid marking, right? Who likes doing that?
Yeah. And one of the benefits of this particular brand, the SewQ Laser, is that it holds very steady on your machine. It doesn't wiggle. And that has been expressed as a concern with some other products. So that's one of the really nice features of this. So have a look at the video, and I think you will like what you see. I've certainly really enjoyed using mine. So that's the SewQ Laser. Now, sometimes not everything goes quite as we would like it to in our sewing world, and we need seam rippers to fix the oopsies.
Yeah,
so
sadly, but it's true.
Reverse sewing is what some people call it. So we've got a couple of little bit different seam rippers here than the ones that we routinely carry. This one by Gypsy Quilter, I like it. It's called the Seam Fix. This is a fairly large version of the seam ripper. So, we're all familiar with the pointy end, but this silicone area here allows you to pick up the stitches, the loose threads, as you've
very handy.
As you've ripped them out of your seam, basically. So that is one of our seam ripper options.
And it's a nice size handle too. It's not as small as some of them, so easier to grip.
Yes, and the cover.
And this one too.
Yes, so this one I found very interesting because it is specifically designed with an ergonomic handle. So it's very useful for people with arthritis, people that need a larger handle with a more a more contoured shape. So people that need a larger handle with a contoured shape can hold on to this one. People with arthritis, people with carpal tunnel syndrome may like to give this one a try.
It looks like it would be very comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it does have a cap on it as well, a cover. So
Yeah, it's a clear one.
that's
You probably
important.
can't see through the casing, but it's there.
Yeah. So 2 seam rippers to fix the oopsies. So lots to choose from. Lots of fun things to keep us precise in our sewing and our stitching and our cutting and our measuring. Reindeer Games, day 4. We'll see you tomorrow.